Hello, my lovely kids. How are you doing? Welcome. I hope you are ready for today because today will be interesting. Today, we are going to be looking at a very interesting topic, and the topic is animals without a backbone. Now, we'll be knowing what an animal is first of all. Animals are living things that are not human beings or plants. So animals are living things that are not human beings or plants. So what are living things? Living things are those things that have life in them. Examples of living things are human beings, plants, and animals. Now, human beings, plants, and animals have life in them. Do you know that animals have skeleton? Different types of animals have their own skeleton. Now, what is this skeleton? Because you might want to start thinking. So, what does skeleton mean, or what is a skeleton? A skeleton is a bony structure of the body of a person or an animal. So, both animals and human beings have skeleton. A skeleton is just the bony structure of the body of a person or an animal. Skeleton gives support and shape to the body. Now, as humans, our skeleton is covered by our skin. So our skeleton is internal. Skeleton gives our body support and shape. Our bones are simply our skeleton. Our bones, the bones of our body, they are what? Our skeleton. Now, when you stretch your arms sideways, can you do that now? The reason your arms will not fall off easily is because of your skeleton. And you know why? Because the skeleton gives support to our bodies. Now, we'll be looking at one part of the skeleton which is very important to this topic we are treating, and it is the backbone. Yes, the backbone. And do you know the backbone also have other names? And other names a backbone can be called the vertebral column or the spine. So you can either call your backbone the vertebral column or the spine. Now let's talk about the backbone more. Where is it located in our bodies or bodies of animals? The backbone is the row of connected bones that goes down the middle back and protects the spinal cord. So the row of connected bones, they are all connected. They are all joined together. It's a row. It's not just one. There are different bones connected together that goes down from the middle of your back. And this vertebral column or backbone or spine protects the spinal cord. Now, we'll quickly do this. Can you run your hand through the middle of your back? What do you feel? Yes, what you feel is your backbone. The row of bones you feel when you run your finger through the middle of your back is your what? Is your backbone. Now, let's look at vertebrates and invertebrates. Some animals have backbones, while some animals do not have backbones. Now, animals with backbones are called vertebrate animals. Can I hear you say that? Vertebrate animals. Animals with backbones are called vertebrate animals, while animals without backbones are called invertebrate animals. So the ones with backbones are called vertebrate animals, and the ones without backbones are called invertebrate animals. But in the world today, there are more animals without backbones than animals with backbones. So most animals in the world today do not have backbones. So we'll be looking at some examples of animals and some kinds of animals that do not have backbone. We have our spiders, our worms, our insects. Now there are different kinds of insects. We are talking about insects. We're talking about those with antenna and wings. We're talking about our cockroach, our ants. We're talking about bed bug. We're talking about honeybees, moths, butterfly. So our spiders, our worms, our insects, snails, and many kinds of animals in the sea do not have backbones, but their outside covering is hard. When you touch their body, it's usually hard on the outside. Like a snail, for example, snail has a hard shell covering it on the outside. Now I told you our skeleton, which is the bony structure of our body, which are bones, they are what inside that our skin covers them. But for animals, especially some animals that do not have backbones, what they have is a hard outside covering. A hard outside covering. So when you touch their body, it's usually hard, like the spider, like the snail, and all of that. So this hard outside covering they have is like an external skeleton. Now we have internal skeleton. Why they have external skeleton? So now we'll be focusing on two special animals that do not have backbones. And number one, we have spiders. Yes, spiders do not have backbone. And number two, we have insects. Now, most times, most people think a spider is an insect, but that is very wrong. A spider is not an insect, but it looks like an insect. It's just like when I taught you about moth and butterfly. I told you a moth is like a butterfly, but it is not a butterfly. So, what is a spider? A spider is a small animal. It looks like an insect, but it is not an insect. Now, every kinds of spider, because we have different kinds of spider, just the way we have different kinds of people. We have tall people, we have short people, we have fat people, we have slim people. So just the way we have different types of people, we also have different kinds of spiders. But there's one thing you must know. Every kind of spider are like in these ways. Just the way, even though we are different, some are tall, some are short, some are fat, some are slim, we all have head. Yes, we all have a head, we have hands, we have legs, so we are alike in some ways. So spiders, no matter the different kinds, they are alike in this way. So what's the first one? They have a hard outside covering. That's their external skeleton. Hope you have not forgotten what a skeleton is. Yes, I told you. A skeleton is the bony structure or the framework or the bony parts of the body. Now, I've already explained what an hard outside covering is. It's like an external skeleton. So when you see any kind of spider anywhere, when you feel their body, it is usually hard on the outside. Then number two, they have its legs. Spiders have its legs and they use their legs to crawl. And number three, most spiders have its eyes. Most spiders, meaning it's not all of them, but most spiders you would see have 8 eyes. Now, number four, they have fangs to poison their prey. So a spider has what we call a fang. Now what is contained in this fang is called poison. So when they get a prey, that's something they want to feed on, maybe on other insects they want to feed on. You understand? Those are their prey. What they do is to poison them with this fang so that they can be able to eat them. Then number five, spiders have two main body parts. How many body parts? Two main body parts. And what are they? You can see the spider now in this picture. Their head and their chest is one body part. So the head of a spider and the chest of a spider is joined together in front. That is one body part, and they have abdomen at the back. The abdomen is like their stomach. Even humans, we have abdomen, yes. But now, talking about a spider, their abdomen is at the back. So another name for chest is thorax. So when you don't see chest, you will see thorax. So you can see now in this picture, the head and the chest of a spider, they are together. Then the second body part is what? The abdomen. So spiders are not harmful to us. But most times we always think, oh, spiders, they hurt us. But guess what? They are helpful to us. And how are they helpful to us? By eating harmful insects. Those insects that are hurtful, those insects that can harm us, spiders help us eat them. Those insects are their prey. So, there is one special ability a spider has. Do you know that? Spiders spin silk. The light, strong silk is a sticky liquid that hardens in the air. They spin the silk into webs. So they make it first as silk, then they spin it into webs or other traps. When you check sometimes at the ceiling of a building, you will always see these spider webs around. Yes, they're always around. They are thread-like. They are thread-like. So they look like thread, they look like rope. But actually, they are not rope, they are not thread. They are silk that spiders spin to make webs. And they don't only make webs, they also make traps for their prey. They make traps to to catch their prey. And they also use it to make a case around their eggs to protect their eggs. Spiders make silk in spinnerets. So there's a part of a spider body which is known as the spinneret. So they make the silk in this spinneret and they pull the silk out using their back legs. So when after they make the silk in this spinneret, the next thing they do is to pull it out from the spinneret. And how do they do that? They do that using their back legs. So now we'll be looking at the parts of a spider. A spider has different parts. First and foremost, they have eyes. And I told you most spiders have how many eyes? 8 eyes. A spider has spinneret. Near the abdomen, there is the spinneret, which it makes silk in, and he pulls it out with his back legs. So a spider has fang to poison its prey. I told you they have chest or thorax, they have legs, they have eyes, and they have feelers in front. It's looking like an antenna in insects, but it's not. The second one we'll be looking at is insects. There are thousands of different kind of insects that live all over the world. So we have insects of different sizes and shapes and colors, and there are even some insects you have not seen. So they are so numerous. Now, but no matter how many or numerous these insects are, no matter their different sizes, their colors, and their shapes, all insects are alike in several ways. And number one is they all have 6 legs. Yes, every insect have 6 legs. How many legs? 6 legs. And they use their legs to crawl. And number two is they have 2 antennae on their heads. So when it's singular, it's an antenna, and when it's plural, it's antennae. So insects have this antenna on their heads. And when I was teaching you moths and butterfly, I told you they use their antenna for signals. They use it to sense their environment. So they can use it to smell. So some of them are long and some are short. And in the case of a moth, the antenna is what is feather-like. And number three, they have 2 eyes. How many eyes? 2 eyes, and they use their eyes to see. And number four, an insect's body is divided into 3 parts. How many parts? 3 parts. Unlike a spider's body is divided into 2 parts, but that of an insect is divided into 3 parts. And so, what are these parts? We have the head, which is the first part. Then we have the chest or the thorax, which is the second part. Then the third part, we have the abdomen. You know, in the case of a spider, the head and the chest are joined together to form a body part, but for an insect, the head and the chest are separated. And the last one is most insects have two or four wings. How many wings? Two or four wings, which they use for flight. Different insects and their abilities. So some insects can fly. And examples of insects that can fly, we have the housefly, the honeybees, the butterflies, and so on. So some insects can up, yes, like little quick jumps to up. We have the grasshopper, we have crickets. Some insects can dig. Some insects can dig. We have the ants, they dig holes. We have termites, we have beetles, they dig where they live in. Some can crawl. We have ants and cockroaches, they crawl. Then some can swim. The examples are the dragonfly, the water bug. Some insects can eat plants. They feed on plants, they destroy plants. So we have the weevils and the grasshoppers. Some insects can eat clothes or feathers or furs. Examples are moths, cockroaches. They can eat clothes, our clothes. They can feed on feathers or furs. When we talk about furs, we're talking about the hair on animals' body. Some insects can eat that. And I've given you examples as moths and cockroaches. And some insects can feed on blood. Some insects can go as far as feeding on blood. You know of a common example, and that is mosquito. Mosquito, we also have bed bug. They feed on what? On blood. So next time you are outdoor, look around and see how many different kinds of animals without a backbone you can find. Thank you for watching. Trust you had an interesting time. Don't forget to do your assignment. See you next time. Bye.